As Wizards of the Coast continues to price out new products and bring them to market, how will those prices affect the future sales of these products? Because most players think these prices are crazy. Welcome back to Suck My Wallet Dry and Take Every Last Drop. How you guys doing? MTG Moxman here. Thanks for hanging out with me on the channel today. When you look at the future of Magic products, when you look at all the new IPs that Wizards of the Coast is bringing down the pipeline, and I'm not just talking about Lord of the Rings or Commander Masters, which of course are two very expensive products that people are talking about this year, but it's the general product line following Universes Beyond. Think about all the secret layer pricing. Think about these prices that are slowly being rolled out one by one. There is no way that Wizards of the Coast is going to roll these back. They've already had success with things like Commander Legends, Modern Horizons 2. That price door has already been opened, and Wizards has no intention of closing that door. Instead, they've offered sub-pricing. Lower-end products like the Jumpstart theme boosters, that's kind of where they want the lower clientele to go. You got the mid-range people who still might buy draft or set boosters, which have continued, at least here in Canada, they've continued to climb in price. And then, of course, we've got the deluxe players with the big wallets, and they're diving into things like the collector boxes, as well as the higher-end premium products, double flip trip masters, etc. 30th anniversary? Too soon. You're right, too soon. Drop that subject. We'll come back there some other day when Wizards messes up really bad. That's where they're headed. A multi-tier, a multifaceted approach to capture as many players as they can at as many different price points as they can, but still eluding the lower end players of any high value cards. Like if you want to get to that higher end card, you're going to have to look up there and say, how can I afford that? That's what they want you to do. They want you to work toward the crazy price products. These tiers of pricing models have been around for a very long time. Remember, gold memberships, platinum, silver, bronze, they're basically taking things right out of like Ready Player One comments in the movie and putting it into real time for you to enjoy. You've got players on Arena who will grind things out not spending a dime, but they all fall victim to the players who can afford to pay to play. It's just the nature of the beast nowadays, and it's the way that Wizards wants to develop their product lines. They need to delve into as many cash cows as they can without losing any of them. They know there's a little bit here, a little bit here. They don't want to alienate, even though they are. They don't want to think that they're alienating. They want to just tap into everything as much as they can. Now I look at that beginning of my conversation with you. And yes, I'm wearing the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company because I love The Office. It was such a good show. Yes, I'm off topic. That's okay. That's what we do sometimes here. We think about nachos and cheese and we go off topic. But I look at the products and I'll tell you right now, I've been preaching for a while and I am a sealed box guy, but they're too expensive for me. They're too expensive for me to recommend. I look at them and say singles. Singles. When I look at Commander Masters now, I don't see unique, amazing cards. They will be in there, but I don't see that. I see how long until they reprint that price. How long until that crazy price comes around again in some other future reprint? Wizards controls the supply. They can ramp up production of a card. They can introduce a new card to make another card less or more valuable. That's just how they do the game. So whenever they want to tweak things and throw the players off, that's what they do. A little bait and switch. So when I see a product like Commander Legends, I know that's a reprint product, but yes, they've added new cards. That'll kind of throw me off. But it's still a price failure. It's still a failure in the initiative to get more players involved in the game. I think they shouldn't have gone to these higher level tiers yet. They definitely shouldn't have. It's overstepping. Instead, the crazy pricing, maybe once a year on one product, but they did it in two, man. They gave us Lord of the Rings at a higher end too. The one of one ring, the hunt begins. Wizards can't win that one. But either way, when I look at those two products, I would be more likely, even though Lord of the Rings won't be as good, it'll have probably more unique cards in that set. So I think there'll be more value there. I always believe there's more value in a standard set, like a Phyrexia All Will Be One versus a reprint set. The original set, like Modern Horizons. Amazing. Modern Horizons 2, amazing because they introduced new cards. When you get a reprint set, there's not as much there. Okay, yes, there can be valuable cards people want, but there's not as much there. So that crazy price doesn't ring in my brain as a buy. I see it as a Wizards cash cow that I can avoid. When I see Lord of the Rings, as much as I don't like that price point, I know it'll have more unique game cards inside, more playability. Even Commander Legends Baldur's Gate still was a large set with a lot of diverse cards inside, like the Displacer Kitten and stuff like that, that still gives you a gameplay. But of course, they didn't have any banger cards. They didn't add the staple cards in. So that failed as a set, especially in the collector box. I mean, the draft boxes didn't do that bad, but the collector boxes just flop. Couldn't get the dragons, too hard to get things. So as Wizards tinkers around and tries to mess around with how they do things to maximize the dollar while giving us the least amount, you've got to be aware that the crazy prices probably aren't going anywhere because players at some level will still buy them. But you can avoid the pitfalls. You can stick to the singles, stick to some draft nights, and pick up the products that are going to be best suited to you and your gameplay with your friends. If you're a person who wants to draft, go and get a draft box. I'm not saying go buy a Commander Masters collector box or something like that that has 4 packs in it, or the boxes that are $600-700. No, because if you look at any of these major stores and you look year over year, look at all the past products they have. Look how many are still in stock, because reprint sets tend to go dead. I've tallied that data up. That's where my head is at. It's gonna be very hard to get the Moxman's brain around any reprint set, because if there's too many reprints with no fresh cards, it goes dead because you're going to reprint it again, and I know that. It's just going to go dead a couple of years from now. They never seem to stick around. Remember that, everyone, because that is a game-changing effect that most people fail to recognize. And yes, I almost tripped on a cord, but I avoided the fall of death inside this small space. Yeah, cheers for the Moxman. But the crazy price levels that you are seeing right now with these products, part of it was already planned. A direct correlation to Double Flip Trip Masters and Modern Horizons 2. They know players accepted that price point. When you look forward and you see things like 30th anniversary, they now realize they've reached too far. I talked about that in the price failure of Commander Masters. It's just an overpriced product that won't have, no matter what cards they put in, there will not be enough good cards. But here's the funny thing about Commander Masters. The collector decks, the Commander collector, the 4-pack of the Commander decks, the Eldrazi, the Slivers, I think those will sell extraordinarily well for players getting it. I think there'll be real value there, more so than the sealed boxes. So keep an eye on that. I can't wait to see those fully exposed and shown to us in their shining light to see if I'm right about that. That one I think's got me. But in the coming year, maybe they will put some new set together that'll have the fetch lands back in, right, to try to draw you in. But it's going to be a premium product, not a regular price product. They're going to try to draw players up into these higher echelons of pricing and try to make the newer players, or the ones without the large cash bags yet, to want to strive to get up to those sets. But that's also a mistake, because any player can see, okay, if it's $600 a box and I just want to get 5 fetch lands, how much are those individual fetch lands going to cost me? And that's where a reprint set like Commander Masters can fall apart. Tally up the 10 best cards in that set and then see how much those would cost you to buy, those 10 cards, as a separate batch to the side. Now there's all kinds of chaff rares and chaff mythics, and then there's the 10 cards you actually wanted to get out of the set. And very seldom do those two correlate together into an even price point. And that's interesting, because Wizards hasn't really jiggled with that yet to make it happen. But don't think they're not looking at this stuff. They're following the data down the line to the T to maximize for the company without angering too many players. So look into 2023, 2024. I still think they'll have 1 or 2 surprise sets this year that they haven't announced, that haven't been relayed to the masses yet. I think they're still going to throw 1 or 2 little surprises out. Be ready for that. But then next year, when they see the sales of Lord of the Rings, which will go well, it's unavoidable because of the One Ring hunt. I don't know what will happen after it's found. I think things will tank. but that's my personal opinion. And depending on the power level of the set, which does not look very powerful now, but there'll be a lot of players out there who are just Lord of the Rings fans who want to get it. There will be some. There'll be Magic players who want individual cards that will probably seek some out, and there'll be draft nights and stuff going on for quite a while, I think, with a product like this. And after that is all said and done, and they see the sales figures come in, that'll be more of a green light next time to do more serialized cards. They're not going to let up. These crazy prices are not crazy. They're the new prices. We just remember the old prices, so we think the new ones are crazy. We remember when collector boxes were $239, $249, right? Brand new. Remember like Throne of Eldraine when they first came out? We remember draft boxes. A lot of us who've been around more than 5 years are like, oh, I remember them being 99 bucks. And now boxes are like 150, 160. Canadian, US guys, you still have better prices. I admit you guys get such good deals. And you get Amazon dumps. Here in Canada, no dumps. No dumps, yeah, exactly. Not found in a dump anyway, at least not up in here in Canada. 30th anniversary. Too soon again, I know. So anyway, that's how I feel about the crazy prices. They're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. Players will really have to shop around, pick and choose. But I still believe because of how the reprint sets are done, I think you will see the following year. That's when prices get reduced on slightly older products. This is the new pricing model Wizards has built in. So the crazy prices are for like the first round, the first year people. If you want to save some money, wait till the following year when they ditch these product lines and make them cheaper. That's how I see things panning out. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for as I ramble through this stuff because people were asking me about it. I know there's been some chatter online about the crazy prices and how it's affecting the game itself and how they're basically just squeezing the life out of the game and they gotta ease up. I mean, that's how a lot of players see it, and it doesn't affect the actual gameplay when you just want to play the game, but when you're a person trying to buy some of the cards, support your LGS, that's when you really see these prices affecting everyone. So thanks again for being here, everyone. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to entertain you each and every day. I look forward to tomorrow's video. Have an awesome day in Magic Land, and remember to shop smart, shop S-Mart. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's not over. It's never over because we got amazing patrons on this channel supporting me each and every day. A big shout out and thank you to each and every one of you, to the amazing patrons, the viewers every day. Thanks again for being here, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. The more I think about these crazy prices, particularly reprint products, the more annoyed I get. It's fine. Welcome back to the end of the video, to the end of all things. You guys know I ramble at the end. This is what happens. It's the Marvel movie moment. Look at those reprint sets. Iconic Masters, Ultimate Masters, Modern Masters 2017, wherever you want to look at. At my local store level, those are all still sitting there. They're available for sale, and nobody's buying them. Because those cards have existed already in multiple sets, and the prices have gone from like a Noble Hierarch being like $125 to like a $15 card. Wizards kills the value, they don't protect it, and because they don't do that, nobody wants to buy them. At least a lot of people are smart enough not to buy them. They will not hold the resale value people need. Because they're not even like 24 packs. It's not even like a real draft set type experience, right? For a lot of players out there. So instead, they just go to a draft box. The Lord of the Rings, I think, would hold more value than the other products. Especially at these crazy prices they're getting at. The singles market looks more and more attractive. But better than that, more people are paying more attention to reserve list cards. And I think that's where they should be looking personally. If they want value for dollar plus old age nostalgia. Not everyone cares about that stuff, but some of us do. So anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And remember, Necronomicon. Yeah.